Tulsi Maharani Jaya, Vrinda Devi Jaya, Tulsi Maharani Jaya, Vrinda Devi. Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Shri Vrinde.
Vrindai Hai Tulsi Devyai Priyai Hai Keshavashacha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satya Vachaya Namo Namaha. Vrindai Hai Tulsi Devyai Priyai Hai Keshavashacha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satya Vachaya Namo Namaha. Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. We offer our most respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who just like desire trees, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Jai Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripasinivebhya Patidanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Okay, so we're supposed to break the fast right now, or else we all go to HELL. So we don't want to go to hell. Just take just one little drip and throw it in your mouth so you don't contaminate anything. Just go boop. You go boop. Like that. Granola. All glories to Mother Urmila. Okay. So now we have class. Okay. Nice buggies. All righty. What's that? No, Prabhupada never did this. Now that we know, it's better to do it, but, it's not that you'll go to hell. Where are all the other men? Sleeping? Then. No. Just tell them no breakfast. Were they up late last night or? Oh. Anyway, it's life in the Maya world. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Malaba Hiri Badadahuti. Gopijana Malaba Hiri Badadahuti. Yasodhanandana Prachadanandana Yasodhanandana Prachadanandana Yamuna Tirabhanachari Yamuna Tirabhanachari Jai Hurad Madhava Kunya Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Gopijana Balaba Girivadodhati Gopijana Balaba Girivadodhati Yasodhanandana Prajajanaranjana Yasodhanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jai Hurad Umadhava Kunya Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravedikacharya, also Teta Sadashi Shimad, His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Parem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Tam Ki Jai. Maturadam Ki Jai. Jagadada Sami Ki Jai. Yamunamai Ki Jai. Shivati Lasa Devi Ki Jai. Sama Veda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories the assembled devotees All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Dhanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachari Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deja Tarane. Alrighty. So reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 27th chapter, text 6. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All right. Pita Gurus Twang Jagatam Adesho Durachyaha Kala Upata Dandaha Hitaya Checha Tanubihi Samihase Manam Vidunvan Jagat Isha Maninam Pitagurus Tvam Jagatam Adisho Durachya Kala Upata Dandaha Itaya Chicha Tanubhijami Ase Manam Vidun Van Jagadesha Mananam Pitagurus Tvam Jagatam Adisho Durachya Kala Upata Dandaha Hitaya Checha Tanubhijami Ase Manam Vidunvan Jagadesha Maninam Pitagurus Twang Jagatam Adisho Durachya Kala Upata Dandaha Itaya Checha Tanubhijami Ase Madam Badun Van Jagadesha Maninam Maninam. Shamanam. All right. Pita, the Father. Guru, the spiritual master. Tvam, you. Jagatam, of the entire universe. Adishaha, the supreme controller. Durachayaha, insurmountable. Excuse me. Kalaha, time. Upata, wielding. Dandaha, punishment. Hitaya, for the benefit. Cha, and. Icha, assumed by your own free will. Tanubihi, by your transcendental forms. Sami Hase, you endeavor. Manam, the false pride. Vidunvan, eradicating. Jagat Isha, lords of the universe. Maninam, of those who presume themselves to be. So, translation, you are the Father and spiritual master of this entire universe and also its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations, selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves masters of this world. So you can repeat. You are the Father and spiritual master of this entire universe. Thank you. And also its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations, selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves master of this world. All right. Purport by the servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Hitaya is significant here. Lord Krishna protects religion and chastises the wicked for the benefit of the entire universe. Foolish and faithless pseudo-priests criticize God for punishing the living entities through the actions of nature. But whether Lord Krishna punishes them indirectly through nature or directly in his incarnations as mentioned here, he has a perfect right to do so because he is the Father, spiritual master, and supreme ruler of the entire universe. Another way he curbs down the false attempts of the conditioned souls to establish the kingdom of God without God is through his feature as insurmountable time. It is said, spare the rod and spoil the child. That is a fact. Oh my God. And it is actually the Lord's mercy that he takes the trouble to rectify our misbehavior. Although faithless persons criticize the Lord's fatherly vigilance. And quickly we'll read Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. As you are the complete Lord, what purpose do you have in protecting Dharma and punishing evil? It is for the auspiciousness of the universe because of your natural mercy. That's the problem with eating it before taking the grains before class because it affects me like that. It is for the auspiciousness of the universe. Because of your natural mercy, you have affection for those who follow Dharma, just like the Father toward the Son, his Son, and the Guru towards the soul of his disciple. Well, the Guru towards the soul of this disciple. As Adisha, you are capable of delivering all from suffering and bestowing happiness, but to the evil people, your insurmountable time, which purifies them through punishment. Therefore, to give benefit towards both types of people, you perform pastimes through your avatara forms that you accept by your independent will. Itcha tanubihi. These are the pastimes of killing the demons such as Putana and protecting the righteous as well. As well, it is your pastime to deflate the pride of your devotees such as Brahma, who become intoxicated with the small power that you give them. And, all right, well, Jiva Goswami says something too. You've acted for my benefit. You are the father and teacher. You distribute your colorful pastimes. You destroy pride. This is explained, explicitly mentioned to indicate Indra's extreme pride. And Sanatana Goswami says something a little bit different in the second part of his commentary. Or cha means although. Though you destroy pride, you act for their benefit. Or though you give punishment, last verse, you produce benefit. Though you enact punishment, upata dandaha, you are the father and guru, just as the father gives punishment for the child's benefit, or the guru for the disciple's benefit, or a master for the servant's benefit, or yama, kala, gives benefit to all jivas. So you give punishment for benefit. By experience of hellish punishment, the jivas are cleansed of sin. That is clear in the story of Jamil. Or time gives punishment with birth and death and gives benefit by producing detachment. Fathers and others can cheat, but time does not. It is difficult to surpass the Ratyayaha. You act through your avatars who appear by the desire of your devotees. Icha tanu bihi. So again, the Sanskrit of the verse. Vita gurus tvam jagatam adisho durachaya kala upata dandaha hitaya chicha tanupi samihase manam vidunvan jagadishamaninam. So, Om Gana Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tuzmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, let me get the verse out again. So Krishna is described in this verse in various ways, and we'll describe what that means. First is Pita, is the father. So how is Krishna actually the father, which is interesting? In many different ways. First of all, Mami Vangsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are connected with Krishna in that way. And with the same nature as Krishna, same genes, basically, as Krishna. And then in the material world, we're the father of Krishna because, as Krishna says in the Gita, Aham bija pradapitaha, I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. And the way he does that is that in the beginning of the creation, Saikshata, he implants all of us, because previously we were within Krishna's body, the Mahavishnu's body. He implants us in the material creation by the glance at the material energy, and that glance, that seed-giving glance, is known as Shambhu, as Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is actually the, in one sense, the fatherly aspect of Krishna that consorts with the material energy. So anyway, so Krishna is our father, and Lord Shiva is our father. So the reason he's establishing that as the father, because the father is someone who is a well-wisher of the living entity. The reason Indra is saying that you are the father, not just because he's trying to pacify or placate Krishna, Doesn't want Krishna to get too angry with him. But he's saying that because you are our well-wisher, because a father is a well-wisher. So he's recognizing the punishment, the chastisement he's getting as coming from a well-wishing person. And then also another well-wisher is the guru. As described in the Bhagavatam, that one should recognize the guru is Sorada. The guru is one's friend. What is that? Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasantanta Garorhitam. That the brahmachari goes to the ashram, or the brahmacharini nowadays, goes to the ashram of the spiritual master and works for the benefit of the guru, and recognizes the guru is actually the well-wisher, Surit Sohram. Just like we find Krishna is the well-wisher in the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Bhaktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam. I'm the well-wisher. So the guru is actually the friend, just like we say, what is it? The friend of the poor, Lord and Master of the devotees. Wow. He's the friend. Of course, not in the friend in the sense like, hey, buddy, guru. High five. Because there was once there was a devotee who went to his guru, and the guru put out his hand to bless him, and he thought the guru meant high five, and he went, oh, high five, Guru Maharaj. It wasn't an ISKCON guru, but it happened. And the guru went, oh my God, these Westerners are too much for me. So anyway, so the guru is actually the friend because he's concerned for, as Prabhupada said, not Prabhupada, because not Prabhupada's translation here, but it's the servants of Prabhupada, he's for the soul of the disciple. Wow, what a powerful expression here. He's concerned for the soul of the disciple. He's saving souls. Sounds very Christian, doesn't it? So the guru is saving the soul of the disciple because previously, before the disciple met the guru or got the bhakti lata bij from the spiritual master, the disciple was heading for a not so nice destination. So Krishna here is mentioned as guru. So he's the guru. So these are all very kindly designations. You're the father, you're the guru, and then also Ishvara. Of course, Krishna's Parameshvara, as we know, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the supreme controller. And as the supreme controller, the other word used here I thought was very interesting. Icha means your will. Your will is insurmountable and you are unconquerable. In other words, you can get anything you want because you are aptakama. You get your desires fulfilled just by desiring them. And we've talked about that in many classes before. And therefore, your swarat, so this is indirectly what's being pointed out here in this verse. You're independent from this material creation. So you don't really need to have anything to do with the material creation. So therefore, the only reason you have anything to do with the material creation, here's the other word in the verse, hitaya, let's see, where is it? Hitaya, for the benefit, by your free will, icha, tanu bihi, by your transcendental forms, the only reason you have anything to do with the material creation is for the benefit of us. So Indra's making that point very, very clearly. The only reason you're here is for our benefit. The only reason you've chastised me is for my benefit. It's not that you're chastising me because I'm threatening your happiness. Generally we chastise or get angry with someone because they threaten our happiness. We're driving a car, someone cuts us off, we get angry with them. Like that. Or actually, sometimes, some people clean my house and they leave things in places where I can't find them and I get angry with them. And, they're impeding my happiness. So anger comes when we're impeding someone, when someone impedes our happiness or someone takes away something that we have. Anyway, impeding happiness. So Krishna is not angry at Indra because his happiness has been impeded, because Krishna is happy. Goloka nibashati akilatma bhuta. Krishna is in the spiritual world enjoying. So he really doesn't need Indra to do anything to give him enjoyment, and Indra can't do anything to take away his enjoyment. So his chastisement, the point is Krishna's chastisement, is for the benefit of Indra. And not only that, as mentioned in the verse, and the purport, sorry, Krishna's chastisement in terms of the law of karma, in terms of the time factor, is meant for the benefit of the conditioned souls. So sometimes there's this discussion, and technically the discussion is called theodicy, the justice of God. You know, why the H-E double whatever? Do good people suffer, and why do bad people enjoy in this material world? You know, what is the justice? You know, is there justice? Is there actually God? And of course, some people, some theologians, so-called theologians, it's interesting. Prabhupada, I was listening to a conversation Prabhupada was talking to some theologians, and Prabhupada said, "You're not theologians. You're theosophists. What is it? Theosophists, yeah. You're not theologians because you don't know God." It's actually quite an interesting discussion. So, of course, many theologians, they say that God is, he started everything, you know, he's the prime mover, I guess, or something. And he's not like controlling everything in the material world, so he's not really responsible for what's happening. Basically, it's like an atheistic philosophy. Everything's happening by chance, interactions, or whatever like that in the material world. But Krishna is the supreme controller. And of course, he uses his demigods, his assistants, to control on his behalf in the material world. But nothing happens, or not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of God. And so if someone is suffering, there's a reason for it, and the reason is not that God is taking some retribution or that he's trying to make someone suffer. The reason is hitaya, for the person's benefit. That's why the person is suffering in this world, because it's for your benefit. And anyway, there's no way you can enjoy the material world, because the material world is a material world and you're of a different nature. Vishnu Shakti Para Prakta Kshetragya Ketata Para Vidya Karma Sanganyantratir Shakti Ishite. In other words, there's three basic categories of energies of the Supreme Personality of God. There's the spiritual potency, there's the material potency, the avidya karma, ignorant stuff here, ignorant activities. And then there's marginal potency, the kshetragyakya, that means that's us, the knowers of the body. So we're of a different nature than this stuff. So there's no question of us enjoying this stuff. It's just not, there's an illusion that we may be enjoying, like someone playing a video game. There's an illusion that he's enjoying with some beautiful girl or some racing some fast car or something like that. Just like I was thinking recently to get myself a video game, so I could enjoy it, because I wanted to polish up my pilot skills. So I was going to get the pilot simulator by Microsoft. But anyway, and I was thinking I should get it. You know, I want to enjoy like that. Finally, I purchased it, but then in 5 minutes I heard, "This is crazy. What am I doing?" So then I got a refund. So, because trying to enjoy flying through the air, in a virtual space. And of course, now that we have all these very rich people trying to enjoy going out to outer space, for a few seconds and float around in the air. And I tell my statement is, why don't you just go swimming? You could float in weightlessness in the swimming pool, and that's for free. So anyway, all this concept of enjoying, it's in the mind. Vimukta manina. It's just in the mind. The enjoyment and the suffering in this world is just in the mind. And if you can conquer the mind, then you can transcend this enjoyment and suffering in this world. So anyway, so getting back to the point. So we can't possibly enjoy in this world because it's not our nature. It's like, another example Prabhupada gave is like trying to enjoy with a mannequin. A mannequin? Or a womanikin? I know there's no such word. But can you imagine you go up to a mannequin, or like I have this little cow in my house. It's not a mannequin, but it's a little cow, and I press its little paws and it starts talking to me and singing to me. And I just embrace it, or a teddy. Yeah, I'm crazy. So a teddy bear. I don't have a teddy bear. So it's all illusion. It's all just like a complete illusion. So anyway, so there's no question of enjoying this world. And actually, even the suffering is an illusion. Of course, don't tell me that when I got a toothache, that I'm an illusion, because I'll get angry with you. So, but it's the attachment. Attachment causes the suffering. Attachment is the cause of the enjoyment, either so-called or illusion of enjoyment in this world. And you give up the attachment, as the Buddhists say, then you give up the suffering and enjoyment. So in any case, Krishna's arrangement of the threefold miseries and everything like that, and the time factor, of course, time factor destroys everything, as we see in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a manifestation. Krishna says, Kalo Asmi, I am time, is actually meant for our benefit. However, I got another point I wanted to make here. However, you could say it's meant for our benefit, yes. But ultimately, you may get smashed here, there, and there, but you're not going to get purified just by the smashing. What the smashing is meant to do in the material world, smashing, suffering, and the material world is meant to bring you to the point of crying out to God, and then the purification starts when you associate with a devotee of the Supreme Personality of God. I'm going to read some verses in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that point this out. Of course, this is the whole discussion about how can one become free or purified, so prayaschita, so to speak, so they don't have to suffer the sinful reactions that are described in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Shukadeva Goswami at one point here says, this is a very interesting verse. I'm just going to read this, the English. To concentrate the mind, one must observe a life of celibacy and not fall down. One must undergo the austerity of voluntary giving of sense enjoyments. These are all austerities. One must can control the mind and senses, give charity, be truthful, clean, and non-violent, follow the regulated principles, and regularly chant the holy name of the Lord. Thus, a sober and faithful person who knows the religious principles is temporarily purified of all sins performed with his body, words, and mind. Wow. These sins are like the dried leaves of creepers beneath a bamboo tree, which may be burned by fire, although their roots remain to grow again at the first opportunity. Wow. As even regularly chant the holy name of the Lord is contained here. Because there's one ingredient that's actually missing. And that ingredient is mentioned in text 31 of this chapter. Actually, what's it? Text 31. I wrote it down. Text 16, sorry. Text 16 of this chapter, which is very, very important for our benefit. Text 16. My dear king, if a sinful person engages in the service of a bona fide devotee of the Lord, and thus learns how to dedicate his life. Whoops, got to skip some pictures here. Dedicate his life unto the lotus feet of Krishna. He can be completely purified. One cannot be purified merely by undergoing austerity, penance, brahmacharya, and the other methods of atonement I have previously described. In other words, of course, these are voluntary austerities or voluntary pain that one may undergo. But these may temporarily, let's say, not purify you completely, but temporarily subdue the senses. But then the seed of desire, what's called the papa bija, or the seed of sin, remains. And according to these verses, the only method, of course, we understand the chanting of the Lord's holy names, but the chanting of the holy name has to be given through the service and from the mouth of a pure devotee in order to be effective. The chanting of Krishna's name is not a material sound vibration that simply comes from the material lips and tongue. It actually has to descend. And the way we can actually purify ourselves with the chanting of the holy names by serving the devotees of the Lord, serving a pure devotee of the Lord. Of course, there's a similar verse that it was spoken by Jadabharta. Rahuganai tat tapasa nayati, nachejya nirva panad grahadva, nachandasa naiva jalagna suryar vanao mahatpada rajobhishekam. Jadabharta is actually talking to King Rahugana and instructing him about how to get purified. He said, Rahuganai tat tapasa nayati. One will not get purified simply by executing some austerity. So, and he said, nayati, nor by yati, taking sannyas. Just like we used to think if someone took sannyas, they got purified. And then when Prabhupada left the planet, people used to think if someone became a guru, they became a pure devotee immediately, even though before they were having some spiritual trouble. And then, what is it? Rahuganai tat tapasananyati nachejya nirva panad grahadva, nor by becoming a good grahasta, nor by putting yourself in fire in the middle of the summer, or ice in the middle of the winter. Chandasa naiva jalagna surya vana mahatpada rajobhishekam. Only by taking the dust of a pure devotee or serving a pure devotee. That's the real tapasya, or the real purification. I mean, we're chanting like that every morning. Yasha prasada bhagavat prasada yasha prasada nagati katopi. And still we're thinking, we got to do all these other methods. And, some of them are Vaishnava methods, and we're not decrying them or anything like that. But this is not really central to our progress in Krishna consciousness. And this is really pointed out in this verse. Let me read this verse again. It's just such a wonderful verse, so inspiring. The 16th verse. And I'll read it again because, of course, it's broken up with pictures. If a sinful person engages in the service of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and thus learns how to dedicate his life, his or her life, unto the lotus feet of Krishna, he can be completely purified. One cannot be purified merely by undergoing penances, austerity, brahmacharya, and the other methods of atonement I have previously described. So this is the essential aspect of purification, not simply getting tortured by Krishna's material energy, which can lead one to the point of crying out. Yes, there's a benefit to it, because you come to the point temporarily of being fried out. Kinchana Gotra, you come to the point of being fried out and you cry out, Krishna, help! And then Krishna sends the pure devotee. But if you don't take shelter of the pure devotee and serve the pure devotee, then it's just temporary. So even the punishments of the material world are simply meant to drive you to the lotus feet of a pure devotee, so you can actually take shelter and serve it. And by serving, Mahatseva Mahor Vimuktes. by serving a pure devotee, then we achieve all perfection. I was mentioning this last night in class, where we were talking about how to achieve perfection. And some people were saying, well, you got to think of yourself as a gopi, or as a cowherd boy, or as a cow, moo. But my point was that we just serve. We serve Prabhupada with devotion, and we serve, and things, dadami buddhi yogam tam, yenamam upayanti te, tesham satayuktanama, one of the nutshell verses in Bhagavad Gita. And one serves with devotion. So right now, we can serve Krishna's representative with devotion and please Krishna's representative with devotion. And by doing that, then dadami buddhi yogam tam, yenamam upayanti te. And that's my understanding of Krishna consciousness. Sorry about that. Didn't leave any time for questions. So, anyway, it's quite an interesting verse. 6:113, if anyone's interested in reading it. All glories to divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhago Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyam Divan Vikayanti Anandamaya sadhu sadhu jala vigrasya govindam jai Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Jiv Jago, Jiv Jago, Gorajana Bode, Jiv Jago, Jiv Jago, Gorajana Bode, Kotanindra Yavumaya, Pisachira Kole. Kotanidra Yahumaya Visachira Kode Mahajiva Vanaya Se Samsara Vitare Mahajiva Vanaya Se Samsara Vitare Bulia Rohini to me, Hapijabare. Bulia Rohini to me, Hapijabare. Tomare light on me, I know Avatar. I know Avatara, Ami Pina Bandohara, Kea Chegi Tomara, Ami Pina Bandohara, Kea Chegi Tomara, Ene Chea Chori Maya. Nachi barunagi, eneche achori maya. Nachi barunagi, harinama maha mantra, lau tu mi magi. Harinama maha mantra. Now to me mage Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Poriya Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Poriya Hey Hari Rama Mantra Loina Gamakeya Say Hare Nama Mantra Naina Makeya Jiv Jago Jiv Jago Gorajana Bode Gorajana Bode Kotanedra Yao Maya Pisachira Kole Kotanedra Yao Maya Pisachira Kole Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Padaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Samaniti Namine Namaste Sarvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivasesha Shunyavade Vasyachade Zatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindadaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hagaloke nanara, hagaloke nanara, Jaya Radha, hagaloke nanara, hagaloke nanara, Jaya Radha. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paradikacharya All Sajada Satashi Shrimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charana Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anandakoti, Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Shitweta Gadadha, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopika Shyam Kunda Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Maturadam Ki Jai Jagadata Swami Ki Jai Yumai Ki Jai Shrimati Lasi Devi Ki Jai Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol All glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Gaurachandra is calling. Wake up, sleeping soul. Wake up, sleeping soul. How long will you sleep in the lap of a witch called Maya? You've forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the cycle of birth and death. I've descended just to save you. I am your only true friend. Other than me, what friend do you have? I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you suffer. Take this great chant for deliverance. Maha Mantra, the names of Hari. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, falling at the Lord's lotus feet, take shelter of the Hari Nama Mantra, the Lord's holy names. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Okay, Shikshastika. Don't walk on the Mars. Baba Mahadvai. Karanam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam